What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fitness Realty channel. My name is TJ McLelland and I'm the broker. I'm super excited to share all the things we have planned with you. So sit back, strap in, and let's have some fun. What's up, everybody? We are here for episode 53. I have Andrew Humphrys with me, the Fit Insurance guy. I'm so stoked to have you on our channel, bro. I've met you a couple times at FitCon, so
Yep.
If you don't mind, would you just kind of introduce yourself a little bit? Give us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm Andrew, as you all know, the Fit Insurance guy. A little bit of background is, well, I'm 30 years old and I have moved around the United States my entire life. My dad was an entrepreneur. I followed his footsteps, and right now I'm full-time in health insurance, all about the fitness industry, healthy mind, healthy body, making sure everyone's taken care of.
Dude, that is so cool. And what's awesome is everything that you talk about with the being fit, that's everything that resonates with us. So like when I was running into you at FitCon, I was like, dude, this guy's awesome. I got to kind of hang out and chill. And then I don't know if most people don't know this about FitCon, but there's a lot of people that just kind of hang around. We're all chit-chatting, but we'd spent like half an hour talking in front of somebody else's booth, and I was like, maybe we should take off. I don't know.
I do remember that. That was pretty
It's
funny.
so good. It's so good. Well, give us a little bit of background about the insurance style that you have, or kind of talk about the insurance side.
Yeah, of course. Well, just to kind of like let you know how I got into it is because I kind of follow my father's footsteps in the entrepreneur world. I've been a part of a lot of startups. I've had a couple of my own companies, sold a couple, still have a couple smaller ones running in the background. But through it all, I realized something that in the business world, companies can offer benefits. And something that people always look for is, okay, well, what's dental benefits? What's health and wellness benefits, you know? And a lot of smaller companies have no idea about health insurance when it comes to benefits, on what they can offer, what they can't. And being in that industry, I realized, at being a business owner, I really want to take care of my employees.
Hmm.
And I couldn't do that because I didn't have the revenue and I didn't have the understanding. So I did a lot of research. Come to find out, my father was actually a life insurance agent for the longest time, and he still had a couple clients.
Nice.
So I took my license tests, did a lot of research, kind of went under his wing. He kind of showed me a little bit about it. Found a couple friends that was actually in the health and wellness industry. Some were a couple brokers, some were that were in the private industry. And something I realized is that there's this disconnect from the public marketplace, ACA marketplace plans, Medicaid, Medicare, and private health insurance.
Hmm.
And something that I realized was, that there's a big need for education, especially when it comes to individuals who are healthy and wealthy and don't want to be screwed over paying these high premiums, high deductibles, high out-of-pocket maxes, but
Hmm.
have no idea that just because you're healthy, you can actually save money on health insurance. So that was
Interesting.
like my entire goal. And
Yeah.
so essentially, I went out with a mission that, being in the healthy industry, I wanted to help those that were like-minded, such as yourself, to be educated in the aspect of, you know what, I'm healthy, I have the money. Why should I be quote unquote, in trouble and have to pay a higher premium when I'm a low risk for the health insurance companies?
Yeah.
And so that's what I set out to do.
That is crazy. Let me just give you a little synopsis really quick of what I heard, because insurance to me feels like this scary gray shadow monster kind of thing if you've been watching Stranger Things.
Yep.
Where it just is so convoluted, and insurance companies, I don't know if they love it to be that way, but you providing us the education is so key. We kind of talk about that in our industry, is that we are the professional that bring that piece of education and bring that to our clients. That's what you're doing in your business, which is amazing. And to me, that's really the key, is that you've studied it, you've learned it, and now you're translating it for us to understand, and bringing that education piece. Because let's be honest, the research that you did into the insurance side, I'm sure, was kind of insane, hectic, and intense.
It was definitely a daunting task, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, that's kind of crazy. Well, I know, like, without getting into too many specifics about like certain health insurance plans or whatever, our kind of typical person that might be watching this would just be a person that loves to be fit, kind of a physique person, or they go to the gym, or they want to go to the gym, and then they want to know about real estate as a whole. And so, kind of take that into mind with what would it be, or what would it look like for whatever you're offering to kind of go down that road for somebody that's listening.
Great question. So I'm gonna give probably the best advice right here that so many people don't even know about. If you are looking at health insurance and you don't know where to look, step number one, look at Health Sherpa. It's just simple Google search. It will kind of give you a simple synopsis. It flabbergasts me that so many
Mm-hmm.
people don't even know about this website. But it makes sense because if you're not in the industry, you don't know. But
Fair.
essentially, I kind of like last time we talked, I kind of realized, being in the industry that you are, the people, your listeners and followers, I
Mm-hmm.
kind of synopsed two individuals that I think would be good candidates that would really like this information.
Mm-hmm.
Candidate number one is, a single individual, male or female, makes decent money, maybe $50,000 to $60,000 a year. In today's society, that's great,
Mm-hmm.
but is single. If they were trying to get on a public marketplace plan, they'd be looking at spending anywhere from $250 to $600 a month. And
Whoa.
that's just kind of depending on, do they want dental? Do they want vision? Do they want, a low deductible?
Mm-hmm.
Do they want great benefits and discounts? Because different plans can offer different discounts, can offer different types of benefits depending on what you want. But on
Gotcha.
the low end, you're looking at around 270, 280, which
Jeez.
is which is which is quite a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then our second person would be a family of three, mom, dad, and a kid. Kid may be
Mm-hmm.
around 5 to 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for them, if they were looking at a plan, they'd be looking at anywhere between 600 to 1300 plus,
Whoa.
depending on what they want, which is
Jeez.
absolutely ridiculous. And,
Yeah.
and again, this is all kind of depending upon like the area of what they're making.
Mm-hmm.
And this family that I was talking of three, I put them roughly around 80 to $100,000 a year.
Gotcha.
Achievable. Definitely something that everyone wants. Oh, I want to hit the six digits.
Mm-hmm.
But still 80, $90,000.
Gotcha.
So that's the public marketplace, and you'll find that on Health Sherpa, and it will give you a breakdown of why you're spending that much, what your deductible is, type of benefits and discounts that you're going to get.
Yeah.
Now, what I do, for me, I come in and I let the client know, in this case, the single person and family of three,
Mm-hmm.
what that price would look like. And then I would do an assessment. This assessment to me takes maybe 5 to 12 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially what I'm asking him health questions, simple health questions. I'm asking him like income questions. And essentially it helps me understand two things. One, it helps me understand, can you get subsidies? Now, a subsidy is essentially a governmental aid that'll say you fall below a certain income line for this year, which
Mm-hmm.
means health insurance for you is going to be a little bit more affordable. It's going to be subsidized.
Yeah.
So I'll let you know if you can even get that. And two, I'll let you know if you are a qualifying aspect for private health insurance, then I can say, you know what, you could qualify for a private health insurance plan. So let's look at that. And then what I'll do is, because I'm licensed and insured to sell private health insurance, I can look at all different types of aspects and say, you know what, this is the plan that you could potentially qualify. Let's try and qualify you. Now,
Nice.
people need to understand the two major differences between health insurance and private health insurance is this: qualification. There's an application. Now, public, Medicare, anybody can get on that plan. Doesn't matter if
Gotcha.
you have chronic illnesses, diseases, back pain, injuries. Doesn't matter. You just have to pay the high premiums.
Gotcha.
But on the private plans, you have to qualify because insurance companies see us as risks
Gotcha.
because we pay them, a certain amount every month so that if we ever have cancer, leukemia, major tumors, surgeries, accidents, they're going to give us lump sums of money, 10K, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, depending on what type of care you need.
Right.
And so they're saying, you know what, I'm not going to insure someone that's a high risk. So if you're a low to medium risk, I'll insure you at a certain rate. And
Interesting.
that's why employer plans can actually give good insurance because they're grouping together a group of individuals.
Gotcha.
However, for someone who, is in real estate, you're basically a contractor. You don't work for, a company that's going to provide those type of benefits.
Right.
Um, so even for someone like me being a health insurance advisor, I'm a contractor. I'm a 1099. I'm not a
Right.
W-2. So I have to take care of myself. And
Whoa.
so I'm actually on private health insurance learning about this.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty intense. The amount of money, if someone in my position, the amount of money that I make, I had to pay a lot of money.
Hmm.
For example, for the type of insurance that I wanted, I had to pay around 520, but
Gotcha.
now I'm paying $200.
Oh,
So
nice.
I saved a little more than $300 a month, which I can now use to, invest, use it
Right.
for vacation, for, if I want to go to a nice restaurant with my girlfriend, easy.
Nice. We all want to
So
do
yeah,
that.
exactly, 100%. So back to the clients, you got the one that's single making around 50, 60,000, and then
Hmm.
you have the family of three that's making anywhere between 80 to 100,000, if not more. Now, these two types of individuals, the reason why I set that price is because these two individual examples don't get subsidies here in Utah. Now,
Gotcha.
every state is a little bit different, but here in Utah, they do not get governmental aid, which means they have to pay the full price.
Gotcha.
Now, if we're looking at the same example, same health qualifications where they're generally healthy, they don't have anything major. Maybe a few, shoulder kinks because they played sports.
Uh-huh.
For me, I played volleyball, so I have to be careful with my shoulder and my knees.
Fair.
But other than that, I'm pretty healthy.
Nice.
So for these two, if they do qualify, the qualification is essentially 20 to 25 health questions. They have to talk to a health insurance company. It takes 1 to 6 business days, totally free, just takes your time.
Gotcha.
If you find out that you get qualified for a single person, they were paying around, I think I quoted you at 270, 280.
Yep.
Now, for the health insurance, if they wanted like the same type of plan, they'd be looking at maybe 150.
Oh, wow.
And if they wanted to add on dental and vision
Yeah.
and, an accident protector plan and a critical illness plan, where if they ever get like any critical illness or they get any type of accident, they're covered,
Hmm.
they're looking at around maybe 200 to 250, depending on the type of extensive plan they want.
Yeah.
So you went from a single person making 60K, paying 270 to $500,
Yeah.
to now you're paying anywhere between 150 to 250.
Right.
So you're saving, for a single dude, saving $100 to $300, depending on how intensive of a plan you want.
Right.
And you're getting great plans because on the private marketplace, a lot of these plans don't have deductibles. They have no out-of-pocket deductibles, which is
Oh,
great because
wow.
as soon as you get on the plan, you're getting benefits. And
Right.
the reason private health insurance does this is because you as an individual, if you're ever feeling unwell, feeling sick, they don't want you being like, "Hey, you know what, my shoulder kind of hurts. I'm going to give it a week." And then you
Right.
go in and find out, oh, you know what, actually it was fractured, but now
Right.
it's broken because you've been working on it.
Right. Like you should have gone in.
Yeah, I know, exactly, right? So that they never want that instance to happen. They want to take care of you because the sooner you get checked, the sooner you find out something's wrong, the less expensive it's going to be for them and the better it's going to be for you.
Ah.
So kind of a little easy way, wow.
Yeah.
Now, if
I
you're
was
looking at an example, go ahead.
I was gonna say private healthcare sounds pretty cool about that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know it. It's
Yeah.
like you said, it's like that daunting shadow that no one
Right.
really wants to look at. And you're like, you know what? There's insurance agents out there. I'm sure they'll tell me. Even so, I've met so many insurance agents that don't even know about it. So,
Oh, that's so crazy. Isn't that fun? The industry is riddled with people that don't know what's happening.
well,
Ours is the
100%,
same.
right?
Ours is the same way.
I'm sure in real estate, you're like, there's so many little the workarounds that people don't even know.
Yep.
So,
Oh, so true.
um, exactly. So, example two, the family
Hmm.
of three, paying anywhere between, I'm pretty sure I quoted you 600 to 1300 plus, depending
Yeah.
on the type of extensive plan they want. Now, I mean, let's just go to the cheapest. If they're going the cheapest of the cheap, you're looking at 600.
Yeah.
Now, if they qualify for a private health insurance plan,
Hmm.
if they're just going to go for the cheapest plan there, they're looking at $300 to $400. That's like the
Wow.
cheapest of the cheap.
That's a huge
But if
savings.
Yeah, but get this, if you want something that's like really awesome, so a typical family that I see a client of three, they're
Uh-huh.
paying typically around $1,000 because they want good coverage. They want that dental, they want that vision, they want to make
Right.
sure if they're in any type of accident, they're completely covered
Yeah.
with a low deductible at least.
Right.
If they're looking at that, they're looking at 900,000, 1,100 on a private health insurance plan. You're looking at 500, 600, maybe 750.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge savings.
It's massive savings. actually, I think it was 2 weeks ago now, because today's the 6th.
Mm-hmm.
Um, 2 weeks ago now, this family out in Texas, I can't give names obviously, but this family out in Texas I was helping out,
Mm-hmm.
family of four, they're paying $1,100.
Mm-hmm.
Great for them. They had good insurance. They were getting governmental aid. They just found out that they got a massive raise on their job. Her husband was, hustling and grinding. He's making lots more money now, which is great.
Nice.
Unfortunately, because they were taking the subsidies, this is a lot of people that people don't understand. If you take subsidies at a certain income price that you give to the IRS,
Uh-huh.
the insurance company will say, you know what, you're making this much. Now at the end of the year, you're making this much. Even if it's like $1,000 more, $500 more,
Mm-hmm.
there's a certain amount of that subsidies that you have to pay back in a lump sum, which kind of
Oh,
sucks.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of people don't realize this. So at the end of the year, they'll be like, "Oh, I made $20,000 more, or I made $10,000 more this year," which is, "Oh yeah, yay for me."
Yeah.
And then the insurance company and the IRS are gonna be like, "You know what? You made 10K more, but because we were giving you subsidies, you have to pay us 8K because that's how much we gave you
Ugh.
throughout the year for insurance," which
Ouch.
totally sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so this family out in Texas, they just found out their insurance, they were paying 1,100. Next year, starting January, they'd have to pay 1,600.
Whoa.
Unreal. I mean, great
Yeah.
insurance plan. They were covered on all aspects. They like 100% covered. Anything happened, they're not gonna have to worry about paying huge amounts of money.
Yeah.
But 1,600 a month.
Right.
Can you? I can't even. I would never pay 1,600. But then
No,
again,
that's
I'm
so high.
single. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. Right.
so I don't have two kids running around yet.
Yeah, right.
Um, one day, one day.
Yeah, right.
Um, but she called. She reached out to me, and I talked to her, and I did that 5 to 12 assessment, and I kind of gave her options.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up going with a plan that was just as good, but she only had to pay $900.
Dang. Yeah, that's
Seven hundred
big.
dollars savings.
Right.
$700 savings.
Right.
Like what?
That
What would your clients use for an extra $700?
I don't know. I
What
hope
would
that
you
that's
use?
another investment property. Like, hey, let's buy another
Exactly.
property. I mean, that's what I would be coaching them on, hopefully.
Fair, fair. For me, I'd say if you don't have a gym, go get a gym membership. Go work out. You
Yeah.
know?
Oh, for sure. Hands down. No, that is so cool. I actually all of this sounds insane to me because I've never actually talked about insurance too much. So this is really good information because I feel like kind of what I described earlier with the shadowy area, dicing through that, it really just starts to cut through. Like once you get the pieces of education, you can really start to map out what looks awesome for your family. And so, no, I like that a lot. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you a couple of questions then.
Yeah.
What makes I know there's probably like thousands of insurance agents out there, but like what makes you the best about finding out how to help these people and our clients and like what makes it so that you're different than the other insurance guy down the street?
Great. Great
Other
question.
than having great hair. I wish I had great hair.
Well, it's funny. I actually had like a 4 to 5 inch beard. I don't know if you remember at FitCon
Yep.
where we met. I had a huge, but I literally just shaved it off, and now it's just like a short little beard.
Right.
So I've been
Looking so
blessed. I mean,
good.
I'm Greek. You can thank my mom for that. I mean,
Right.
ask your DNA. Don't ask me.
Right. Fair.
Um, but interesting question. I actually really like that question because I'm a firm believer that no matter how good of an individual you are at one aspect, whether that's the fitness industry, the psychology industry, business industry, or just like a good person, individual, good father, a good husband, a good boyfriend, girlfriend, you can always improve and you can always be better.
Agreed.
And so in my experience in the insurance world, I think what really sets me apart that I think a lot of individuals would respect, and I respect this about myself, um, is two things. One, a little bit of information about the insurance world. About 80 to 90% of insurance agents quit in the first year.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's so
it,
high.
it's massive. And the reason behind that is one is a lot of people when they get into the insurance, they just think, oh, it's kind of like I can help people if there's always a need for it, and it's decent to good money. And I can
Mm-hmm.
get that residual because if a family's happy and
Mm-hmm.
they're healthy and they stay on the plan, the insurance company is happy with me because they have a long-term client and they're going to say, you know what, Andrew, you got us a 1, 2, 3 year client. We're going to give you a little extra money. And so it's
Nice.
good money and it's
Yeah.
lucrative in the sense where like I can work anywhere I want, which I love. I mean, right now I'm literally in my house, in my room working.
Nice.
So I mean, it's beautiful. I love it. And another thing is a lot of insurance agents stick to one type of insurance and they don't understand that there's so much more out there that you can find like a whole arsenal of weapons, aka insurance plans and policies
Right.
where you can customize it to the client's need. And that's number one.
Yeah.
Now, number two reason why I think really sets me apart is because I was in the business industry, I was in the fitness industry, and I was trying to make money moves. I was trying to be wealthy. I was trying to be healthy. I was trying to, set my life up so that when I'm in my 40s, I can basically retire.
Right.
Which so far I'm on track. So, hopefully
Nice.
10 more years and we'll find out.
Nice.
So being in that industry and being on that opposite field where you like kind of in your position where you had no idea about this information, I set
Mm-hmm.
out to do the research and I said, I want to know what would fit my situation, what would
Mm-hmm.
fit the general and what would fit mine. And so I have the working knowledge of what would fit a business entrepreneur, what would fit a real estate agent, what
Mm-hmm.
would fit other insurance agents, whether they do health and wellness or not, and then
Mm-hmm.
what would help like a typical I it's kind of surprising how many individuals that I know at the gym that are now my clients. Just
Nice.
random people that I see
That's
at the
awesome.
gym on a Tuesday morning at 5 a.m. and I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
we talk all the time. I see you lift. What about insurance? Do
Right.
you know anything about it? And then now they're a client. They're saving, 200, 300 bucks.
Yeah.
And so I think that's really what sets me apart is one, I've been in the industry now for over a year, so I've destroyed the 80 to 90% fall off mark.
Solid.
And two, I went into insurance not to make the money, but I went into the insurance because I was curious because I had no idea what was there.
Right.
And now I know, and then I said, there's this huge need. There's a need. And
Huge
being in
need.
that entrepreneur mind, I'm like, if there's a need, someone needs to fill it. And I
Right.
had yet to find someone that could fill it. And so
Yeah.
I decided, you know what? I'm going to jump 2 feet in. I'm going on the deep end. I'm
Right.
about to dive in. So,
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. I love that. Well, one thing that you said really resonated with me is having an arsenal of weapons. We have a lot of military followers, so that will resonate with all of them as well because most of them have
yes.
their own arsenal of weapons.
Same here. I got my
So
concealed carry on me.
nice. So I always love that. I mean, the thing that I really enjoy about listening to what you said um, is that you took the time to really dive through that shadowy area, right? You took the time to learn it, got educated, and said that there is a huge need, right? Like the need is that people have no clue what it is. They don't even know they don't know what those things are. Um, I mean, if you ran out and asked somebody about their health insurance right now, I mean, most of the time they're going to be like, well, one, I either don't have it or I'm getting an employer program
Yep.
and they have no idea what that even does for them. And especially
100%.
with like our spheres, I mean, you're much younger than me, so your sphere, in that realm, like nobody's really talking about that. You don't learn it in high school, and I
No.
find that there's so many industries out there right now that when people take the time to get educated, you can really fill that need for people because, like I said, you don't learn it in high school. It's not like you got a health insurance class. It's like, well, you're gonna learn math today, and it's like, well, yeah, math's great, of course, no problem. But that
Where's
doesn't
the
teach you how
X?
to pay taxes or anything, yeah,
Exactly.
or have a health insurance plan. So, I really love that you're taking the time to learn it yourself and then feed that education to other people, which I feel is huge. So, I applaud you for that for one. Um,
Thanks.
all right, let's see. What I know we've kind of talked about the synopsis of single person and then a family of three. But let's talk about kind of moving outside of that instead of the what you're offering. Let's talk about like if you have a team or what areas you can help people in. Is it just strictly Utah? Is it Texas? I mean, we kind of heard about that. So kind of
Yeah.
give us a roundabout way or a realm of where you actually service.
Yeah, great question. So the interesting thing about health insurance and state by state is it's state legislated. So each state is slightly different with
Hmm.
pricing, what's available, and what you can get on. Now, being an insurance agent, depending on if I don't know if you have any agents out there, but if you're an agent and you're only licensed in one state, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Like you need to take some gun class safety, and you need to get those licenses in other states.
Those are called desktops, man. Everybody,
Desktops.
yeah, everybody has a desktop, and I'm just kidding.
Exactly. But essentially, you have to get licensed in every single state, essentially.
Yeah.
And there's even some states that you can't get licensed in. So, for example, unless I am a resident of California, I
Hmm.
cannot sell health insurance in California. Same thing
Interesting.
with Washington, New York, New Jersey, and Arizona and Idaho.
Hmm.
If
Interesting.
I want to sell in those, I have to actually be a resident. And I'm not quite sure on the exact reason why they do that,
Hmm.
but from what I've done research on and when I was trying to get all my licenses, I was trying to figure out why. And essentially, my research took me down to this one thing.
Hmm.
Essentially, they want to make sure that if you're a resident in the area, they don't want other agents in other cities and other states just bombarding their residents because
Gotcha.
in let's say for example Utah and Florida, now you can sell I can sell in Florida right now if I want to, or even Texas, but
Yeah.
the same thing with agents out in Florida and Texas, they can call or make appointments with people out here in Utah. And the
Hmm.
problem with that is they're not localized, so they don't know a lot of local lingo, they don't know the residency, they just know the health insurance aspect, which is still good information to know,
Right.
but those states they want to make sure that they're keeping it local with insurance. They want to keep it local with the residents, which you know what, I commend that. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So respect to them, but it kind of sucks because I can't help those people out because I already know there's a tons of insurance agents out there that don't know. So,
Right. Fair.
um, but for me, right now I am licensed in 14 states. I just got my Missouri license last week,
Nice.
and I have a couple tests and quizzes that I've been studying for that I'm be taking in the next month to finalize my coverage for the United States of America.
Wow. Very
So,
nice.
thank you, thank you, thank
That
you.
is awesome. So, for
Yeah.
all of our listeners out there, the easiest way to just figure out if you can help these help all of our people listening is to just call you, right?
Yeah, that's the easiest way. I mean, if you're in Texas, Florida, Utah, Pennsylvania,
Nice.
Ohio, like
Nice.
like 100% I can. Those are just the ones off the top of my head.
Right.
But otherwise, if you're outside, the thing is, even if you're outside of the states that I'm licensed in,
Yeah.
um, I have partnerships with other brokers to be able to help you. So I
Yeah.
can still, get you the information, and then when you want to finalize a quote, I have a partner that can help you out.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. So what I like about that is you can help spearhead somebody's health insurance plan and give them the education that they want to know and also help them get service in whatever area, which is fabulous. So I
Yeah.
love that. For everybody listening, down below will be all of the things or all the states that Andrew can help you out, and all of his contact info will be down below, which is going to be amazing. So feel free to reach out anytime. All right, let's wrap up with some maybe crazy stories. Maybe one crazy story that you've helped somebody out with or whatever.
Yeah. Crazy story. So just in winter, for those that don't know, Utah, winter is huge on skiing. I'm pretty sure most of them already know. So I have a client just this last winter. He was out in Park City, got in an accident with a tree. It was pretty
Oh,
immovable. Yep.
oh,
So, for obviously for HIPAA laws, I can't tell you, names and what happens. But
yeah,
essentially, let's just say this: he was not walking for a while.
oh,
Um, Pretty bad. So life flighted, hospital bills. He was in there for a week. So the total bills for the life flight, the overstay, the surgery, he was looking over $40,000.
yow.
We had him on a really good private health insurance plan
Hmm.
with no calendar year deductible. So he got doctor visit benefits, discounts, urgent care discounts,
Wow.
life flighting discounts. surgery discounts, room and board discounts. It brought his total claim to around 20.
Yeah.
And then he had an accident protector plan. He paid $500 and the rest of it was covered.
Wow, that's
Yep.
awesome.
So it was for the entire, he was hitting us up and he was like, I don't know, like this is gonna be so expensive. I can't really, like, he still kind of was like unsure of like exactly how the plan worked. He
Right.
knew he had good coverage, but he didn't know like exactly what he would have to pay.
Right.
I just told him, I was like, hey, send all the receipts into the insurance company.
Yep.
Tell them that you want to enact your accident protector plan and you want to use your discounts and benefits.
Nice.
The insurance company sent everything out to him. He paid the insurance company $500.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
pretty intense. That was the craziest like reduction that I have seen.
Yeah. Which
So
is, I mean, that's massive, huge. And then that kind of happens often at Park City
yep,
and Snowbird.
yeah, all the
Sorry,
time, all the
everybody.
time.
Right? Like, I don't know why these people can't not hit trees. No, I'm just kidding.
I know it's
I
like
don't
the
want to
tree's
go
not
there.
moving. Come on.
Right, yeah. Like, just dodge that sucker. No, I'm just kidding.
Spot and
No,
leave.
right? I feel like that's pretty amazing. I mean, to go from 40 grand to $500 is like huge.
Yeah.
I wish I had that kind of a discount at Costco or something like that. That'd be awesome.
I totally right.
Right? Oh, that'd be so good. Well, man, I really appreciate you coming on and spending some time with me and really kind of shedding a light on the insurance world because I feel like it's so convoluted, like I've mentioned before.
Yeah.
So I just really wanted to say thank you. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for the education that you'll be able to pour out onto our followers and our listeners. And I feel like I just really love people that are taking that kind of gray area or that shadow area and figuring it out, diving in, getting the education, and then teaching that to other people because that's the name of the game for me too, and that really resonates with me. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you vibing with me and seeing the value that I have and taking me the time to put me on your podcast.
Right? Oh, thank you so much. All right, everybody. This is episode 53. Got Andrew Humphrys, the Fit Insurance Guy. Love you all, and we will see you guys next time. And that's a wrap. Thank you so much for supporting us. We'll see you next time, and we love you. Later.